Ben White, what a player this boy is. I just want to sit here and go into what I think are some of the most key and most influential parts of Ben White's game that has really helped Arsenal, and we really did need this style of player. I think this has been a great signing. A lot of people at the start were a bit confused as to why we were paying 50 million for Ben White. You know, the guy can play in a lot of different positions, first of all, and that's one of the main factors of what it was why we picked him up at the start. But I think now he's kind of sprouted into a different style of player, and more of a shithouse in a way, but at the same time just so technically gifted. The guy can do pretty much anything you want him to do. We've used him a lot just in terms of getting the ball into the box and stuff like that, and becoming a bit of a kind of wing back who's a playmaker. He's still getting assists and stuff, so the crosses are great. The way he acts is great, other than some parts of his game do infuriate me a tiny bit, which this would be when he puts his hands on a goalkeeper, or we're having a corner and he's running around the goalkeeper and he's doing things that are provocative and will most likely result in the referee giving it as a foul. Before we continue with this video, I'd just like to mention that only a small percentage of you are actually subscribed to my channel. If you could please click the subscribe button, it's free, it costs nothing, and you can always unsubscribe. I am also trying to hit 5,000 subscribers as quickly as humanly possible, so any support towards that would mean the world to me. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the video. I'm not a big fan of actual contact on the goalkeeper, like the time when Ben White held the glove of the goalkeeper and then the goal got ruled out. I'm not a big fan of that. I am a big fan of the fact that he's putting the goalkeeper under pressure. I'm a big fan of the fact that he's a nuisance. I think that's amazing. I really enjoy that. I really love players like that in a team, and I think that's essential for your team. We need players like Ben White, but the thing with him is that this boy, he's a wing back. He's on the sides at the back in defence, but he's also making blistering runs up, overlapping runs, and it gives us this like amazing sense of width in a way. I mean, we have this way of getting down the wing so many ways, but realistically we can go through the middle as well. But what Ben White does provide is that type of strength and ability and pace to get forward, get beyond players like Martinelli, let them play the ball through, and then Ben White can whip in a ball and score. And we've seen a lot of times in the last couple of games Ben White has actually got an assist. I'm not surprised because of what the situations he's getting himself into, but I'm really happy about it because he is an absolutely outstanding player, and I think he definitely deserves to get forward more in terms of being the one to whip the ball into the box, because he's got an immaculate cross on him. But the thing that draws him back is there is sometimes too much shithousery and stuff like that. That does draw him back in a sense, but luckily it's more in their box, so in the middle of the game he's not doing it as much. But when we have a corner, then he's going to be in there and he's going to be rattling that goalkeeper. I do enjoy it to a certain degree, as I've said, but you know, you can only do so much before you start giving away stupid fouls and giving away possession, and we have seen that a few times as well. So it's not all squeaky clean, but would I opt to have him in over not having him in? I would rather have him in the team. You need him. You need that type of pace and width and strength that he provides. He provides it all, and he can also get balls into the box. He can play multiple different positions. Worst comes to worst, we get an injury on the right, he can play on the right. We get an injury on the left. He's already on the left, but you know, he can go on the left. He could even go at centre back, and I think he could actually do a very good job at CDM depending on what type of team we're playing. Obviously, if we're playing teams like City, I don't want Ben White in the CDM position, but you know, if you've got a game against Bournemouth, if you've got a game against Fulham or someone like that, I think Ben White would be great in the middle of the park. I think he really would. He has a very good passing game as well, and this is another thing I've noticed of him over the last couple of weeks. He provides so much more than what he actually is set to do. That's probably why he was so expensive, because he can provide things that other fullbacks in the league just can't really provide, and this is why I really do enjoy watching him. I think he's amazing, and I think there have been situations this season that without Ben White we would 100% drop points. He has saved us on a few occasions, but it's not his duty to save us. You know, he's our defender, so this is what I'm saying. If he's doing this from defence, I think that's amazing. I think that's a brilliant player. I don't see anything wrong with him other than the fact that maybe he gets a bit too touchy with the goalkeeper during a corner. But other than that, I'm absolutely pleased with what I've seen so far from Ben White. He has really sprouted over the last couple of years, because a lot of people put him down because of the price tag, and obviously that's a thing that can be overbearing as well in a footballer. But he just ignored it, and that's it. He just got on with his game. And, you know, regular starter now. I wouldn't really put anyone else in over him. He's done it. He already proved everyone wrong, and now Arsenal are in probably one of the best positions they've ever been in, you know, in the last 8 years or whatever. And he's a part of that. He's a big part of that, and that is why I'm very happy that he is an Arsenal player. As I've said, he's got some weird traits to him. He's got some weird traits, but the best players in the world, they're never just bang straightforward. It's just not how it is. I'm not saying he's one of the best players in the world. What I'm saying is that he's versatile. He has the ability to play out of position. He has the ability to be dropped into a big team and just start providing, and that's exactly what he's done. There's not been many times where I've sat there and said, oh, Ben White put a foot wrong there. And that's just what it means to me. Like, he is doing everything of what a fan wants a football player to do. Try your hardest, try not to make mistakes, just be an impact. And he's done every single one of those. And I am more than happy to have splashed 50 million on Ben White. That is one of the best signings, I think.